And in this respect, I'm sure the G20 presidency will also be significant. India has presented a very ambitious agenda with a number of items of great interest, I think, to all participants. India is a very influential voice. Well, I'm glad to say that in the past few years, the relationship, the strategic partnership has been gaining considerable momentum. Let me mark here in particular the summit in Porto in 2021, when the decision was taken to relaunch negotiation for a free trade agreement, as well as negotiation for an investment protection agreement and an agreement on geographical indication. I think that was a very significant landmark. Beyond trade, which is already actually quite brisk between the EU and India, we can cooperate on a number of topics and issues. I think we can address together global challenges such as climate change or the digital transition. And in this respect, I'm sure the G20 presidency will also be significant. India and the European Union also share a remarkably similar vision for the Indo-Pacific. We want the region to be stable and prosperous, and the European Union is ready to contribute to this prosperity.
How do you see this, and what changes do you think that India can bring through its presidency?
Well, there are very high expectations. India is a very influential voice on the world scene. At the same time, as you say, unfortunately, we are not living in a business-as-usual situation. Very soon it's going to be 1 year since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, a blatant violation of international law. So what the European Union is trying to do is to isolate the Russian leadership and to impose sanctions that can affect the ability of the Kremlin to continue its military operation. Inevitably, this will also affect the G20 as a global platform. But we have the precedent of the Indonesian presidency, so we cannot ignore the facts on the ground, but we are ready to help and support the Indian presidency to steer the proceedings towards successful outcomes. And we trust the Indian presidency will indeed manage to drive the group towards fruitful discussions. India has presented a very ambitious agenda with a number of items of great interest, I think, to all participants. Let me mark here simply the need to focus more on the achievement of sustainable development goals. And this is certainly a conversation that the European Union is looking forward to participate in.